Hello everyone, wishing you all good health and peace in life. Life in the countryside has never been easy for Huyen and Dee. Poverty weighs heavily, yet their hearts remain rich with love and hope. With the kindness of others, Huyen was able to buy wood to build their humble home, a place where warmth matters more than walls. Even on days filled with hardship, they never let Maya feel the emptiness of struggle. Today, as little Maya goes to the dentist with innocent bravery, her laughter and bright smile remind Dee and Huyen why every sacrifice is worth it. Despite poverty, they give her not only a roof, but also a childhood filled with love, a true home where smiles shine brighter than gold. The morning sun broke through the clouds after days of endless rain. The little house of Dee, Huyen, and their daughter Maya still smelled of damp bamboo, its walls weak from storm after storm. Yet inside, laughter could still be heard. Poverty weighed on them, but it could not silence the love they carried for one another. That morning, Maya clutched her cheek, her small voice trembling. "Mommy, my tooth hurts." Huyen bent down, worry in her eyes. Maya's gums were swollen, her little teeth turning black. Fear tugged at Huyen's heart. How could her child suffer like this, when she had so little to give? Still, she smiled gently and said, "Don't be afraid, my darling. Mommy will take you to the dentist. You must be brave." At the clinic, Maya sat in the chair, her tiny hands gripping the sides. The dentist spoke softly. "Your daughter's enamel is weak. She lacks calcium, perhaps from poor nutrition. But don't worry, she is strong, and with care, her teeth can heal." Maya nodded, her eyes wide but fearless. When the doctor filled the cavity, she did not cry. The dentist, touched, said with a smile, "Such a brave little girl." Meanwhile, Dee had gone to the woodshop. Thanks to the support of kind strangers from far away, people they had never met, but who sent money with open hearts, he could finally buy wooden planks to rebuild the house. The seller warned him the acacia wood was heavy, but Dee pushed the cart home with determination. He thought of Huyen's weak cough, of Maya's small body curled in the cold nights of winter. This wood, simple as it was, meant warmth, safety, and dignity. Back at home, Huyen looked at the wood piled against the wall and felt tears rise. "I never thought in my life I could build a house like this," she whispered. Poverty had stolen much from her, but now kindness from strangers gave her a chance to protect her family. Together, Dee and Huyen lifted the planks, building the new walls by hand. Their backs ached, their palms burned, but in their eyes shone quiet joy. Maya, her toothache easing, tried to help, carrying small scraps and giggling beside Baby the dog. That evening, as the smoke of Huyen's cooking filled the air, the house felt different, not only stronger from the wood, but brighter with gratitude. Dee sat, thin from long days of work, yet smiling as Maya leaned against him. Huyen, though weary, felt peace in her heart. They had little. They had known hunger, storms, and illness. But thanks to the kindness of others and their own perseverance, they still gave their daughter something more valuable than wealth: a smile, a home, and a life rooted in love. That night, the wind outside was cold, but inside their little wooden house, warmth lingered. The new planks still carried the fresh scent of acacia, and though the walls were uneven, they stood strong against the chill. For the first time in months, Huyen felt that winter would not defeat them. After dinner, Maya climbed onto Dee's lap, her cheeks still tender but her smile wide. "Daddy, today the doctor said I was brave." Dee kissed the top of her head, his rough hands resting gently on her small shoulders. "You are the bravest girl I know, Maya, even stronger than your father." Huyen sat by the fire, mending a torn shirt. She glanced at them and her heart softened. Life had given her too many storms, too much loss. But looking at Dee and Maya, she felt an unshakable truth. As long as love remained, no hardship could break them. The next morning, Dee rose early. He carried his tools and went back to the fields to cut sedge, knowing the pay would be little but every coin mattered. Huyen stayed home, guiding Maya to sweep the floor, wash her hands, and learn the small tasks of keeping a home. "Maya," she said softly, "even if our house is poor, it must always be clean and full of love. That's what makes it beautiful." "Yes, Mommy," Maya answered with a shy smile, carefully sweeping the corner. By noon, Huyen carried the last plank into the bedroom. She ran her hand across the rough surface and imagined how, little by little, their home would grow stronger. She whispered a prayer of thanks not only for the kind strangers who had sent help, but for the strength in her own heart that refused to give up. When Dee returned that evening, tired and muddy, Maya ran to greet him with laughter. She hugged his leg tightly and showed him her filled tooth with pride. Dee, exhausted though he was, felt a lightness in his chest. "Huyen," he said quietly as they ate together, "we are poor, but we are not broken. With you and Maya, I feel richer than any man." Huyen smiled through tears. She had no jewelry, no riches, no grand house. But she had something far greater, a partner who never abandoned her, a daughter whose courage brightened even the darkest days, and the kindness of people who believed in them from afar. That night, before sleep, Huyen leaned against the wooden wall and listened to the sound of the wind. This time, it no longer frightened her. It whispered of resilience, of love, of a future where Maya would grow, learn, and perhaps one day stand in a brighter world. And as Dee held her hand in the dark, Huyen closed her eyes and thought, "This little home, this family, is all I need." The days passed quietly, each one carrying both struggle and hope. The wooden walls stood strong against the wind, and though their home was small, it finally felt secure. One evening, as Huyen cooked rice over the small fire, Maya sat beside her, holding a piece of chalk she had found in the field. She bent over a broken tile and tried to draw letters she had once seen on a signboard. "Mommy, what does this say?" she asked, her eyes curious. Huyen knelt beside her and traced the letters with her finger. "That's the letter M, like in Maya. One day, you'll go to school and learn to read all of this." Maya's face lit up. "Really, Mommy? I can go to school." Dee, who had just come back from the fields carrying bundles of sedge, overheard. He set the load down and looked at his daughter with tired but determined eyes. "Yes, Maya, even if your father must work twice as hard, you will go to school. You will wear a white dress, and you will have books to carry. That's a promise." Huyen's heart ached at his words. She knew how little money they had left after buying the wood, how every meal was carefully measured. Yet she also knew that Dee meant every word. Education was the one gift they wanted to give their child, the key to a future brighter than their own. The next day, Huyen washed Maya's only good dress and hung it in the sun. She brushed her daughter's hair and reminded her again to brush her teeth with the salt water cloth, just as the dentist had taught them. Maya obeyed, proud of being a brave girl. In the evenings, when the family sat together, Dee often spoke softly about the future. When Maya goes to school, she will learn not only letters but dreams. Maybe she will become a teacher or a doctor. Maybe she will help others, just as kind people helped us. Maya, listening with wide eyes, whispered, "I want to be someone who helps too, Daddy." Huyen held her daughter close. The world had been harsh, but it had also shown them kindness. And in that small wooden house, beneath the glow of a single lamp, they carried the most powerful thing of all, the belief that tomorrow could be better. The story of Dee, Huyen, and Maya reminds us that true wealth does not come from money, but from love, resilience, and gratitude. In their small wooden house, built with the help of strangers, we see how kindness can travel across distances and transform lives. Though they had little, their hearts were full, and that fullness gave them the strength to carry on. Life often brings storms, both real and symbolic. Floods destroyed their fields. Poverty weighed heavily on their shoulders, and Maya's toothache revealed the cost of hardship. Yet instead of despair, they chose hope. Instead of bitterness, they chose gratitude. Huyen did not see the wood as just planks of acacia. She saw them as gold, as a gift of safety and warmth. Dee did not measure his worth by money, but by the smile he could give his wife and daughter. And Maya, though only a child, showed bravery and a pure heart, reminding us that courage is not about the absence of pain, but about facing it with strength. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Even in poverty, one can give the greatest treasures: love, protection, and a safe home. Gratitude makes the heart rich, and kindness connects us in ways we cannot imagine. The strangers who supported this family may never meet them, but their compassion built walls that now shield a mother, father, and child. We too can be part of such a chain of kindness, whether through words, small actions, or support. We have the power to change someone's story. And when life tests us with hardship, we can look to the example of Dee and Huyen, who faced every struggle with love, never letting poverty steal their dignity. At the end of the day, it is not wealth that makes a family rich. It is the smiles they give one another, the warmth of a simple home, and the unshakable belief in tomorrow.